Hello everybody, I'm Dale Skaggs, Director of Horticulture here at the Dixon Gallery and Gardens. And today I want to talk to you about some of the things that are looking great right now. Here we are in mid-October in the Mid-South, and you know, many people know the gardens are really glorious in the spring, but they're really gardens of all seasons. And we can plant things that look good in the fall. We have things that look good in the spring is easy. You know, midsummer we have things, the cutting garden's always looking good. So we really want to encourage people to come out and visit the gardens because it's always changing, very dynamic. Right now it's the fall season. We have some great things to show you. You know, first of all, I want to start out with a couple of annuals. This is a plant called Evolvulus, and this is one called Blew My Mind. I love the naming of these plants now. Plants are very much named with marketing in mind these days. But this Evolvulus is really, it'll take it dry. We're standing in the middle of a parking lot island here in the gardens. And so there's no supplemental irrigation. So this is a totally xeric landscape. There's not a lot of water inputs other than what Mother Nature provides on these plants. And so look at how well this is doing. And the color blue is just phenomenal. And I think it pairs well with this lantana. This is another annual lantana. There are some that are hardy, like Chapel Hill Yellow and some others, but this is a non-hardy lantana. And then we have this lemon ball sedum, and those are sort of the edge of that. So we kind of have this little annual matrix, although the lemon ball will come back. These sort of annuals on the edge. And then I have these wonderful dwarf mugo pines, and these are really nice. They provide an evergreen element here. You know, over time they're going to get like this and fill in, so we've got them evenly spaced here, and that'll provide a low evergreen element. They're especially attractive when they candle up, but now they just sort of blend into the background. But this is what I'm most excited about. This is a Penicidum, or a fountain grass, and this is an introduction from the University of Georgia. This is Penicidum praline, and it's a sterile hybrid. People are concerned about some of these grasses that are not native seeding about. This is not going to seed anywhere because it's sterile. Like I said, it's a University of Georgia introduction, and it's the best one for the Mid-South. We have heavy clay soils here, and I've planted one called Piglet, which is about this same size, and Piglet doesn't make it through the winter. It just is not a performer for us. It's disappointed me many times. And so our good friend Liz Manugian is on my gardens committee, and she is sort of a grass and sedge aficionado, and she had recommended this one as a better plant than Piglet. And I've been extremely impressed with it. These were planted as gallons this year, and you can see that it's really showing off right now. Penicidum. This is Penicidum alopecuroides, and or fountain grass, and this is the cultivar called praline, and I really like it. Another annual back here. This is another Penicidum back here. This is Penicidum vertigo, which is a more upright red foliaged Penicidum. So it is a fountain grass, but it is an annual fountain grass. But the praline is perennial, and as well as the sedum autumn fire. All right, a couple more plants that are starting to look good here at the Dixon. This is just started to come into flower. This is Muley grass. If you're into native grasses, this is the white Muley grass, and it also comes in a pink form. These were planted as really small 4-inch pots this spring, and they are really looking good. So if you're into native plants, this is one that really starts to peak a little later when the seed heads start to emerge. So anyway, kind of a favorite of ours as well. But a plant that is just a pollinator plant. You can see the bees buzzing around. This is a wonderful. This was planted as a gallon this year. I think we might have 3 plants in here. This is Salvia, and the Salvias are great because they are deer resistant. They have this odor to them that most salvias do. They have as you know, the cooking sage. If you think about sage, they have that. They are sages, so they have that sort of aromatic foliage, and so it deters deer herbivory from deer, which is a problem in most of suburbia around here. But This is Rockin' the Blues, and it's a great color. And this started blooming probably in June. And here we are mid-October and it's still blooming. You deadhead it a little bit, it keeps going and going and going. This is a perennial plant that behaves as an annual. And I know everybody's worried about pollinators, but as you see, this is just a buzz with all the bees, and the butterflies love it as well. The color is phenomenal. It has these wonderful, wonderful black little calyxes that enclose the flower, which add to the impact of those dark purple blooms. Just a fantastic plant. And then this is another sage. This is the Mexican, a plant from Mexico and into Texas. This is a Salvia greggii. And Salvia greggii, most people think of it, there's some white forms, but typically you think of it as a red plant or maybe a pink plant. But this is kind of a real breakthrough. This is Arctic, this is Arctic purple, I think it is. And anyway, I think it's maybe a proven winner, but it is a fantastic plant, blooming all season as well. Started blooming a little bit later than the Rockin' the Blues, but it's still going, and it'll go through till frost, as both of these will. So really provides a lot of nectar plants for the bees, as you can see, and just a long, long season of bloom. So I really like both of these plants, and they're both perennial. This can be a little shrubby. You just cut it back, but you leave some of the woody stems. And it's kind of a semi-shrubby plant, but I really love this Arctic Blaze, and this is Arctic Blaze Purple. This is lamb's ear. It's called Stakes, and this is the cultivar called Helen von Stein. Some people refer to it also known as big ears. And the lamb's ears in the Mid-South usually plants with this fuzzy foliage. If you can feel it, it has a fuzz to it. Usually plants with a fuzzy foliage. They have, they're very, our hot, humid nights, they don't work well. They tend to melt out when it gets hot. This Helen von Stein is the best performer for the Mid-South. If you're going to plant lamb's ear, this is the one I recommend. It holds up, it doesn't melt out. As you can see, it's formed a nice, we planted about maybe a dozen plants here, and they've all grown together, and it's in a nice weed smothering mat. They do have blooms, but the main reason to grow it is for this silver foliage. It's really, really nice. So this is a yellow garden spider, and he actually blends in really well with the color of this yellow lantana. These are common in the Mid-South, and some people call them zigzag spiders because they on the web they have this sort of lacing that goes back and forth in the center. And anyway, just love to see, we know we're doing the right thing whenever we start seeing all these pollinators and these insects and things. They're sort of the cornerstone of ecology, and they're growing and thriving right here at the Dixon Gardens.